caused the pine floor of the cottage to tremble as they stomped into the room, accompanied by the sounds of someone grunting and breathing heavily. But the slamming shut of that same door was followed by a sudden, wary silence. Then there was the sound of a match striking, and a lantern flared up. Through the spindles of the rocking chair, Taddy could make out a dark shape. No, shapes, for there were two of them. Two men in caped slickers, shiny and black as wet coal. Excepting that one man came only to the shoulders of the other, who held the lantern, little could be told about them. For their faces were hidden in shadows under the brims of their black sou'wester-oiled hats. But they had gone absolutely still again, like huge birds of prey standing with their heads cocked, listening. Finally, the shorter of the two men spoke in a gravelly whisper.
"Don't hear nothing, Neezer. Do you?"
"Not when you're bellowing in my ear, Lucky, you and that miserable wind," growled the man addressed as Neezer. "Put a stopper in it, will you?" He strode quickly but cautiously to the back of the cottage and waved the lantern inside each of the two small rooms he found there. "Nobody," he announced gruffly. Lucky shuddered and looked nervously over his shoulder at the front door. "Why don't that wind stop permanent?" "You best say thanks for that wind," Neezer replied. "We both know 'twas the only reason 'twas safe for us to come and cart this stuff away. No one else got the courage." "For more reasons than just one," Lucky grumbled. Neezer turned on him with a snarl. "Now don't you go starting that again. Come on, let's get this stuff out before we get caught and get ourselves introduced to the jailhouse." He lifted one end of the kitchen table, which was also the dining table. "I need a hand. You just gonna stand there?" Lucky shuffled his feet around, but stayed rooted to the spot. "You certain everyone's gone?" "Both dead and gone, courtesy of them cheerful grave merchants, Murdstone and Murdstone Incorporated. I told you I heard it myself from their miserable blue lips, though they was too scart to come themselves and sent some poor idiots to do the job. But you already been told that," Neezer snapped. "And if you desire to share in the profits of this business venture, you best get yourself over here." This last statement was clearly what was needed to inspire Lucky to action. Within moments, he and Neezer were lugging the furnishings of the cottage through the front door. In the meantime, Taddy's feelings, hidden by the blanket along with their owner, went from terror to blazing anger. Thieves. That is what these two were, thieves. And they were stealing his dear aunt and uncle's furnishings. He watched in helpless rage and despair at the disappearance of the set of blue-flowered china, chipped and cracked, it was true, but still treasured by his Aunt Bunce. Then there went the familiar little rough-hewn dining chairs made by his Uncle Bunce. One pitiful possession followed another, accompanied by the complaints of Lucky. "The horse and the cow and chickens I could see the worth of, but all this junk don't seem worth the risk." Snorted Neezer. "If you can figure a way to drag a horse, a cow, and a pack of squawking chickens along in the middle of the night with no notice being taken of 'em, and then figure where we can hide 'em, I'll take my hat off to you. Anyway, anything what brings in money's worth the risk, if arrangements ain't impossible. That's my motto, and been it long as I can remember. How do you think I come by being owner of the Dog's Tail? Risks for money, that's how, no matter what the measly amount." This impressive bit of economic wisdom silenced Lucky for a few moments as he stumped over and picked up the rocking chair, behind which Taddy was crouching. And Taddy's blazing anger turned suddenly back to heart-stopping, freezing terror. In his fury over what was happening to his aunt and uncle's treasured belongings, he had forgotten that his hiding place might be suddenly snatched away. But it appeared that Neezer's motto had not simmered and brewed in Lucky's brain long enough to make it